Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mehek. I hope you guys are all fine, and like always, I also hope that you guys are reading. Back with the book of the week that I finished. But before that, sorry if I sound a little odd in this review. I'm down with flu, bad cold and cough, so I might sound different than what I usually sound. Anyways, the book that we are talking about today is The Christmas Postcards by Karen Swan. Now, the cover kind of misleads you because it makes you believe that the book is about a fluffy Christmas romance, but it is not. The story is emotional, deep, thoughtful, and layered, and Christmas just acts as a backdrop, so I'm not sure why the author went with this title. But any which ways, let's talk about the plot of the book. The book starts with our main character. Her name is Natasha. Natasha is married to her husband Rob, and together they have gone to take a trip to Maldives. This trip is kind of a make or break for their marriage, which is going through a rough patch. Now, after they return from the holiday, things are slightly better, but far from perfect. Now, Rob and Natasha have 10 years difference, and he's always traveling and never really around. And Natasha is left alone to manage the home, and they have a 3-year daughter, Mabel, who is an absolute sweetheart. So Natasha is left alone to just look after the home and their daughter, and she often feels, lonely, unheard, and unsure of the life and the marriage they share together. Now, things take a, I would say, an chaotic turn for Natasha and her family when they go for a holiday to Vienna. And Mabel, their daughter, has a toy called Moolah, which is a cow. And Mabel basically is a kid who sleeps and wakes with that toys. I'm sure all of us have gone through that phase of a kid that's always roaming with a toy which they never want to part ways with. So they go on this holiday to an Airbnb, and in the rush to return back home, um, the Moolah, the toy, is left behind. Now, this means that Mabel is extremely upset. She's not sleeping, she's not eating, and crying the whole time. Imagine a 3-year-old going through that crankiness, which means Natasha, being the mother and only one who's around because Rob is always away, has to deal with that crankiness and is in turn being crankier. She's the one who's always tired because she's managing Mabel's tantrums about Moolah being lost. Um, Natasha then finds a way to find or locate Moolah. Upon her friend's suggestion, she kind of shares a social media post about her daughter losing her favorite toy. And great thing, Harry Styles reposts that particular post shared by Natasha, and her post becomes viral, and everyone and anyone is sharing it and talking about it. And there's a hashtag Find Moolah, etc. Finally, Moolah, the soft toy, is located, but he is right now in Himalayas. So there's this person called Duffy who found the soft toy in the Airbnb and kind of took along with him as a lucky mascot. The reason being is that for Duffy, the soft toy resembled to the same toy his sister carried when she was young, and so he just thinks this is a sign before leaving for this one great adventure of his life. So he carries Moolah as a lucky mascot, and together Duffy and Moolah, the soft toy, are right now in the Himalayas trekking to Annapurna, which is the famous trek in Nepal. From there on starts a correspondence between Natasha and Duffy, where Duffy, being really nice and sweet, keeps sharing emails as Christmas postcards, hence the name of Moolah's adventure for Mabel, so that Mabel, reads them and is rest assured that Moolah is going to come back. Now, while these correspondence between Natasha and Duffy is going, Natasha realizes that this man, who she has never met, seems to understand her more than her husband. And together they start sharing things which probably they wouldn't be sharing with people around them. But slowly, what starts happening is that the postcards or the emails start reducing, and suddenly they stop. And now Natasha is worried if Duffy is okay because he's doing one of the most difficult treks. Alongside this present story, we also see flashbacks of past 4 years back about Natasha's hen party, where she's out with her friends, and there she meets a guy, a handsome climber called Tom, who really makes her question about the life she's about to start with Rob and the life she is committing to. And there is an instant connection and chemistry between Tom and Natasha, which Natasha cannot deny. Uh, I would say the relationship between Duffy and Tom and Natasha's present and the past forms the emotional core of the story. I would leave the plot here because I do not want to give any spoilers. But this is what is the plot of the story. I would say that if you're a fan of Karen Swan's story, which is mostly destination romance, you would really love this book. But like I said, don't go into this book expecting this to be a Christmas romance. It is not. In fact, it is an emotional read. And I would say, in honesty, talks about some of the topics or themes like marriage, loneliness, motherhood, and grief. So don't expect Hallmark Christmas romance. That's not what it is. It's an emotional read. My only problem with this book is that I felt like the pacing. This is, I think, 400 plus 467 pages, I think, if I'm not wrong. And honestly, first initial pages looked quite waste of time. I felt the pacing was really slow. There were so many characters, and I felt like, what is happening? So I felt like clearly this book could be reduced to 300 odd pages. Uh, but towards the end, the I would say the intensity and the secrets being revealed get so interesting, you do not want to keep the book down. So I think the end for me, the climax and the end was amazing. And by the time I finished reading the book, I was so emotional. And it happens rare. I mean, a book that you finish reading and you're so consumed by the ending and you can't stop thinking about it. I think this was by far one of the best love stories I have read, but it's not your usual love story. It's that slow burning romance and love that consumes you. So I think if you're someone who enjoys that, those kind of books, then this is for you. All in all, I would say the Christmas postcard is a thoughtful, layered, and an emotional read. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. This was the last book that I read in 2025. So I hope you enjoyed the review. I'm going to see you next week with another title. And I hope that 2026 is a year that is filled with wonderful reads for all of you.